What is happening, everybody? I am the Architect, and today I am starting a brand new series for this channel. As the title suggests, this is my weekly anime watch list, where I go through all the anime that I watched the previous week and just give my thoughts on it. So if you have a suggestion, recommendation of an anime series that you're watching right now, or that you really enjoy, put that down in the comment section below. I would love to check it out, and maybe you'll see it on a future episode of this series. And of course, like, subscribe, follow social media, all that good stuff. Okay, let's move on. Let's get going into the series that I covered this week. So the first series that I checked out this week is a series that I was super excited for. And if you've watched me up to this point, you know how excited I was for this. It's Jujutsu Kaisen. The anime adaptation dropped a couple of weeks ago. Episode 2 came out last, I believe, Friday. And oh my god. That was a banger. Almost as big of a banger as the OP and the ED. I mean, really, just everything about this was awesome. The first episode introduced us to Yuji Itadori and laid out the events leading to Itadori swallowing an old severed finger and becoming possessed with a curse named Riem and Sukuna. Itadori appears to be able to control the curse, but is then given an ultimatum in which he must choose the way he dies. Die now, or absorb all of the parts of Sukuna and die along with the curse later. Not the greatest of choices, but the second episode really starts getting into him joining this Jujutsu high school and learning more about his powers and everything else. And let me tell you, that fight scene between Gojo and Sukuna in episode 2, it only lasts about a minute, but man, this is just Mappa showing off, man. Seriously, that fight scene, absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm excited to see the rest of the series. I've read the manga up to volume 5. I'm going to be reading volume 6 soon, and I know what's coming, and I really can't wait. So this has my full recommendation. And guys, you need to watch Jujutsu Kaisen. You need to jump on board right now because it is going to be a wild ride. And another series that I am checking out is not exactly new. It is what I thought was a remake, but turns out it's more of a sequel. This is When They Cry, or otherwise known as Higurashi no Naku Koro ni Go. That's right. What I thought was actually going to be a shot-for-shot remake of the original Higurashi, turns out that it's more or less a sequel to the final season that aired, I'd say, close to 10 years ago. And honestly, now I'm going to have to go back and watch what I missed from the original Higurashi, because I really only watched season 1. But I will still talk about a little bit about what I saw. Higurashi is based off of a visual novel series that follows Keiichi Maebara, a high school student who moves into a small town known as Hinamizawa. There he befriends a lot of the students and citizens in the town, and it starts to appear like it's just your typical slice of life. Until a very dark incident is brought to Maebara's attention, an incident that is very much dismissed by his friends. That is when Keiichi starts to become more and more suspicious of what his friends know and don't know, and, well, things kind of get a little weird after that. So yes, what appears on the surface to be a cute slice of life with some funny, cutesy elements takes a real quick turn out of the blue. And yeah, I actually really love this series. I love horror, anything essentially, and Higurashi has a certain kind of horror that really just tickles my scary bone. That's a weird way to put it, but I guess that works. But this series is just a really great psychological horror, in my opinion. One of the better horror anime that I've seen. I really enjoyed what I saw from the original season. Again, I haven't seen the other 2 seasons or the rest of the lore, but I'm going to be remedying that very soon, so stay tuned for that. But I think this new sequel is somewhat promising. I wasn't really sure about the animation style changes. There are videos online where you can see the side-by-side comparisons of the 2006 season with this 2020 season, which is why a lot of people thought this was a straight shot-for-shot remake. But the second episode revealed that that is just not the case. And it really has opened up the lore of this series to even more interesting things that are about to happen. So I'm probably going to put this series on hold until I watch the other seasons and OVAs and whatnot of the series, so I can really be caught up on everything. But if you are a fan of Higurashi and you don't know that this new series exists, you should know, because I think it's going to get kind of interesting. So that is your recommendation for that, I suppose. Get at it. And the last series I'll be talking about in detail, again, another series that is a sequel to a series that I really, really enjoyed. This is Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. And as you might guess from the title, this is a direct sequel to Inuyasha, a series that really, really got me into quote-unquote real anime. Previous to that, I was just watching Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And DBZ. So this really opened me up to a whole new world of anime that I didn't even know existed at the time. And so I was super pumped to know that more than 20 years later, here comes a sequel. And yeah, it's kind of cool. This time the story focuses mainly on the daughters of the original main characters, Towa and Setsuna, the twin daughters of Sesshomaru, and Moroha, the daughter of Inuyasha and Kagome. The first episode was more or less an epilogue of what happened at the end of the original series and what the characters were doing after defeating Naraku. It was only at the end of the episode that we really got to see our new main characters, and it set the stage for what the series will be like. Second episode focused mostly on Towa's backstory, living in the woods alone with Setsuna before a big forest fire separates them. And strangely enough, Towa is suddenly flung into the modern era, where she is found and raised by Sota, Kagome's little brother, and grows up in the modern era, going to school and getting into fights like any modern day kid would do. But later on, things are upended when Setsuna and Moroha also get transported to the modern era, and that's essentially where episode 2 leaves us. Now, there are a couple of big questions here. One, why does it seem like the main characters, at least the new main characters, the new generation, don't seem to know each other, despite the fact that their parents very much did? And secondly, where are the parents? Aside from the opening and the epilogue from the previous episode, there's really no signs of Inuyasha, Kagome, Sesshomaru, none of them. Except for maybe Kohaku, who's the sister of Sango, but that's basically it. And Kaede, Kaede never dies. Now, there are some emerging theories as to why they seem to be absent. I'm not going to go into those just yet, but I am going to continue watching this. I do like the setup. The character designs, you can tell that Rumiko Takahashi is involved in this because of the character designs. Time will tell whether the new writers will make this series worthy of Takahashi-san's brilliance. I can't really tell you if this series is really, really good or not, because right now I'm just riding a wave of nostalgia, man, and it feels so good. Honestly, I'm just super excited to have new Inuyasha content. One thing I will mention, that I think it's amazing, the way that Moroha basically looks equal parts Inuyasha and Kagome. Sometimes she looks more like one or the other, but man, I really love her design, and I like her personality so far, so I'm going to be watching more of this, man. Again, nostalgia hits hard, and maybe I'm still on that high. Maybe later on we'll realize that this was a horrible mistake, like some other show. But we'll see how that goes, man. Right now, I'm just enjoying the ride. And that's basically going to do it for this video. I was going to cover another series / movie / 3-episode series. What are you doing, Crunchyroll? Called Burn the Witch, created by Tite Kubo, the creator of Bleach. But I only got to see 1 episode so far of it. Crunchyroll basically split it up into a 3-episode miniseries and dropped it all at once. I only got through the 1 episode before the recording of this, so I'm going to leave that for the next episode of the Weekly Anime Watchlist. So, if you want to see more of that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more of this particular series, hit that like button. And all that good stuff, man. I'm going to be doing more of this. And, yeah, good things are coming for the month of October. But until then, I am the Anarchitect, and I'll see you in the next video.
Perfect.